Hello,
Hi,
everyone. Welcome to Somewhat Useful. My name is Will Myers.
and I'm Christy Price.
And on this show, we'll be discussing the topics shaping the world of digital entrepreneurship and tackling questions about Squarespace and web design. We're figuring this world out one website at a time and hope you find this somewhat
Somewhat
useful.
useful.
Um,
Will, you
I'm a
you
little
sound a little different today.
I was gonna say I'm a bit under the weather. I'm not gonna lie. I'm
I'm
not
sorry.
gonna miss our recording, but I am a bit under the weather. So I'm gonna have a really, really low raspy voice today as
Oh, we
we
may get a
as
lot
we
more
record
listeners.
the podcast. I think it could. I think it very much could. Do you ever take sick days? Like it's weird taking a sick day when you're a freelancer working from home.
Okay, so I don't take sick days. I take mental health days. So,
Oh,
like, if
good for
I'm
you.
sick and I don't feel well, I'm just gonna power through because I don't feel well. I'm gonna get
Yeah,
stuff done. I
totally.
wait until I'm feeling amazing, and I'm like, "I'm taking today off. I'm gonna have the best day."
See, that is the right way to do it. That is the right way to do it. I can never muster up the courage to take a day off when I'm feeling good. I always feel like I should be working. But
Yeah,
it's just all
yeah.
these sick days that's kind of just suck it out of me. Um,
Maybe we wouldn't have as many sick days if we took more mental health days. I don't know.
um, very,
I don't
very
know.
possibly.
But
Very possibly.
I'm sorry that you're under the weather. I know, like,
Yeah, it's all right.
there've been a bunch of Squarespace code changes you've been
A
working
lot's been going
on.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot has been going on, especially behind the scenes of Squarespace, and we'll get into all of those updates here in a second. But you
Yeah.
went to a Kit conference last couple weeks ago. We spoke about that,
Yeah.
and it's just got my mind spinning
Mhm.
on in-person events, doing
Yeah.
stuff in person,
Mhm.
um, because it's hard to figure out what is it worth the investment? Is it really worth the investment to go to these
Yeah.
things? Like,
I mean,
how
we
do
were
you?
talking about how expensive Circle Day hotels are this year,
Yeah.
and oh my word, that's a
Oh,
huge
it's
investment
crazy.
for folks that aren't local in New
Yeah.
York. So you're right, like the investment, flight, hotel, meals, that's a big chunk of,
Right.
especially I run a really lean business. And so I'm like, what is the bottom line here? Should I do
Mhm,
this? Yeah.
mhm. Where does that do you put that in your, like, marketing budget for your business or in your just, like or do you just generally say, "Oh, no, this is something I wanna do for my business," or maybe just I'm a freelancer, I, like, enjoy doing this, it's fun, so I'm gonna do this. I work for
It's both
myself.
yeah, it's both like, this seems like fun, although I've been to some stinkers, honestly, or, like, they just weren't for me. I'm not gonna say they were
Yeah,
stinkers, they were not for me, and so I'm learning the types of events that I prefer,
okay.
and I prefer smaller events, so the KIT conference, it's called Craft and Commerce, it was in Boise, Idaho, and partially I went because I was not sure Idaho was a real place. It is, in fact. It does exist.
It
And
is.
it's beautiful, and the people are lovely, so I'm really glad I went. But there were, I think, about 400 attendees there,
Mhm.
and Squarespace Circle Day, I think it's around 250.
Yeah,
Like,
200.
that
Yep.
feels in my wheelhouse. Other events that I've been to that have much bigger attendances just feel
Mhm.
overwhelming to me. I feel like I need a lot of recovery time during the day
Right.
and afterward. So I'm finding my sweet spot for the kind of conference that I enjoy.
Yeah, some that lower number, and you
Mhm,
also mentioned last week, I think 2 weeks ago,
mhm.
that it's the content of it is much more geared towards, like, entrepreneurs in general rather than the product specifically.
Amazingly, yes. So it
Yeah.
was like Craft and Commerce was basically a love letter to creators and entrepreneurs. It
Mm,
was, let us help you do the best you can in your business. Here are some things that are working for other people. Let's get
mhm,
experts out here to tell you about YouTube, about how to create content for YouTube and what's working. Let's talk about general marketing and what you can do there. Let's talk about what is working and
mm,
isn't working on social. So I came away with so many concrete things to implement and think about that it just
yeah.
felt like it was so useful. Not somewhat useful, so useful.
So useful, super useful, yes.
Yeah, it was super useful. Yeah.
Well, we should do a somewhat useful conference. I think that'd be fun.
I think that would
I
be
think that would
so
be really
fun.
fun. Just a random thought, but I
Mhm.
think that would be a blast if we did a somewhat useful conference. sort
Yeah. So
of maybe in the
yeah.
spring, something. I don't know. I don't know. If
Yeah.
anyone's listening that would be
Yeah.
interested in coming, would love to know. But something geared more around towards entrepreneurs. I think that'd be really fun.
I think that would be super fun. Let's flesh that out. And yeah, if you are interested and you're here live, drop a comment or um, email
Just
us.
send us an email,
Yeah.
whatever. Send
Yeah.
us a message if you're listening to this on the podcast.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on to our Squarespace updates. There has been quite a
Yes.
bit in the
Oh
last
my
couple
goodness.
weeks. I know it's
Yes.
been starting us off with the product detail pages.
Yeah,
Whew.
so e-commerce, if you're running an e-commerce website and you have any kind of custom code around that, it may be changing. So,
Mhm.
um, well, I know you've been diving deep on this. Do you want to share some of the specifics?
Yeah, so they're changing a lot of the selectors on specifically the product detail pages, and there's also been the product summary pages as well. So like the store
Mhm,
page, the collection page itself, there are some selectors changing. So if you
mhm,
have added any custom code to your website that affect anything in your products,
mhm.
then you should definitely just take another look. A lot of it might not have changed, but some of it could have changed, especially
And
if you've put
the
it in the
rollover
custom
date,
CSS area.
I think the like last date that they're making the changeover is it August 30th?
It's August 30th. So
Okay.
changes have started. You
Mhm,
can update your website now. Anyone can update their website now to Products V2. So Squarespace
mhm,
is rolling out Products V2. It's going to
mhm,
give them a lot more functionality, allow them to
mhm,
do a lot more with their products, which is
mhm,
great. We all want
mhm.
this. But this change is going to have a bunch of sort of knockoff effects with a lot of our code that we already have. And so we have
Yeah.
this 2-month window to make the change ourselves where we can go in
Mhm,
and turn on the change and then go
mhm,
fix everything.
mhm.
Or we have until August 30th and Squarespace is going to make that decision for us and sort of flip the
Yeah.
switch.
Yeah,
So,
so when you have a little bit of extra time one day, go ahead
mhm,
and change it over, and if there's code that's broken, there are a lot of really great resources,
mhm,
out there right now. I know Rach at Square Stylist rolled out, a little helper, Becca's Custom Cody. Becca from Inside the Square, her Custom Cody she's training it to help, so, I know
yeah,
you and all the other plugin developers are updating all your code, so it will
yeah.
work too.
So if your code's pulled in through like a script or like a
Mhm,
link, if you've added a script, the plugin developer should update those automatically. So you should be good there. But it's
mhm,
anything any custom code you've written yourself and put in. That's what you're going to need to go back and look at.
mhm.
But I will be reaching out to anyone who's in my membership or on my email list. So
Mhm.
updating them on stuff that I've changed. So hopefully other
Awesome.
creators, I know other creators are going to be doing the same. So that should be happening. So that's the big one. That's the big one.
Mhm.
And then we're having a similar change coming with form and button block code as well. So there, if
Yes.
you've made customizations to, I think this is just a long ongoing update that Squarespace is doing to just build out their underlying infrastructure with all their code. And the next up after these products is button blocks. Those will be coming and starting July 21st.
Mhm. Yeah, so if you have custom code around those, keep an eye out on your site, see if things are changing, and, just know that you'll be able to update that, with new code, unless you're using a
Yeah.
plugin, in which case the plugin
Hopefully that'll
developer
get
should be
updated.
doing that. Yeah.
Correct. Correct.
Alright. The other change for e-commerce is that Klarna is automatically turned
Klarna.
on now.
So yeah,
It's like an
Klarna.
Afterpay solution.
It's an Afterpay solution, and this I'm to be quite honest, I'm a little disappointed in Squarespace in this.
Okay.
They automatically turned on Klarna, I think, on
Mhm.
all Squarespace e-commerce websites. And this is also Stripe did this same thing. So
Mhm.
I am not sure of the specifics whether if you are using the Stripe integration because Stripe did it, you have to do it. Squarespace had
Mhm.
to do it, or
Mhm.
if this was a choice by Squarespace themselves. Either way, I'm disappointed that this was done automatically.
Yeah, what
So
if we
it
don't want Klarna? Because isn't there an additional fee after this first little window?
Correct. So
Yeah.
right now, this is a Klarna is a buy now, pay later, so you can split
Mhm.
your payments up into 4 easy payments. And right now, it's a lower cost in sort of their
Mhm.
promotional period, and then I think starting, like, September 30th, it would jump up to Klarna would take, like, 6% of your transaction fee, depending on what country you live in. So you might not want it that way. Me, personally, I don't want it because with my products and what I'm trying to
Mhm.
offer, I think it kind of looks a little sleazy. I'm not
Yeah.
trying to,
It's like a
I
$30 plugin.
right.
Let's
This buy
break that
now,
into
pay,
4
break it up
payments.
into, right. That's,
It reminds me of
no.
you guys, I worked at Walmart when I was in high school, and we had a layaway, and it was so weird, and it reminds me of the layaway at Walmart, although you
Yeah.
didn't get your thing until you paid for all of it, but it's like, we'd hold your pair of pants until you made all the payments through layaway. It was just
Yeah.
weird. I'm like,
Yeah.
if you can't afford a $25 plugin, please just don't buy it.
Just don't buy it. And
Yeah.
I specifically have turned off those options because of that. If
Yeah.
like this is not, I don't want to give the impression you have to
Mm.
have this. I don't want
Yeah.
this added pressure. All of that's part of like the brand I'm trying to create. And
Right.
with it being automatically turned on, it's like I implicitly think you should use this buy now, pay later thing
Yeah.
because this plugin is so important that you should definitely take out a loan for. So
Yeah.
I didn't like that that was turned on automatically.
Mhm.
But it is what it is, and it has been turned on. So if you don't want it on,
Go turn it off.
go in and turn it off. So it's in
I have
there
to
under.
have that on my to-do list today, as well
Mhm.
as V2 of, e-commerce.
Yeah, a lot of e-commerce stuff going
Yeah.
on. Next up is domain. We got a lot of Squarespace updates, y'all. We got a lot going on here. Next up is the domains. They have a 90-day activity log. You've
Mhm.
probably used this a bit more than I have. What are your thoughts
Yeah,
here?
it just shows like 90 days worth of actions taken on a domain by anybody who has access to it. So it's handy, if you want to go back and see like, did somebody try to transfer my domain or did it get
Mhm.
connected? It's useful. So yay, Squarespace. I think this was a value add. Like we
Love
like
it.
to see what's going on with our domains. The more information, the better. So yeah, this is one I'm pleased about.
Great.
And
Love it.
the other change that is pretty cool is if you are using Squarespace campaigns, the email marketing system,
Yes.
there is now a form submission trigger. So if somebody submits a form on your website, you can automatically send them an email from Squarespace campaigns. Now,
Mhm.
it's pretty basic. I would rather have them automatically get a copy of what they submitted. And I think people would find
Yeah.
that really useful. That's been on my wish list for Squarespace for a while, but this again I'm not mad at it. It's a good ad.
It's a good start. It's a good
Yeah.
start. Another good iteration. I know they've been sort of chipping away at the feature
Yeah.
set for email campaigns. I actually use
Mhm.
email campaigns for all my stuff.
Yeah.
And I love it. Just the simplicity of it. It's not as feature rich
Yeah.
as some other options you might get out there,
Mhm.
but the fact that it's built into Squarespace and they're continuing to invest in it.
Yeah.
I've really enjoyed. I really enjoyed that one. But Christy, today, I'm
Yes,
so
I'm so
excited for our
excited.
guest. So
Me
excited for our
too.
guest today. We're going to be talking to Kristine Neal. But
Mhm.
before we bring her on, let's take a quick moment and give a shout out to our sponsor, Square Kicker.
Square Kicker. Want to deliver
Square Kicker.
exceptional Squarespace websites faster? Explore the Square Kicker template store, premium designs built for designers like you. Each template serves as a customizable foundation, reducing design time while maintaining the unique touch your clients expect. Visit squarekicker.com to learn about scaling your business with templates and get 15% off all Square Kicker products with code SOMEWHAT15 today. Crafted by expert Squarespace designers from around the world, including our guest today, Kristine Neal. These templates install with just a few clicks and are fully customizable for each client's unique needs. Each template features stunning Square Kicker animations, which you can customize with the Pro extension included in your purchase. With dedicated 5-star support, you'll deliver standout websites while growing your design business.
Love
Love
us
Square
some
Kicker.
Square Kicker.
Yeah. If you haven't tried it, try it out.
Give him a shot. Give him a
Mhm.
shot. Today's guest is Kristine Neal, a Squarespace expert, e-commerce strategist who helps shop owners, service providers, and mission-driven organizations build high-converting websites. Known for her clean design style and strategic approach, she turns complex ideas into simple, effective online experiences.
Hi,
Kristine, so good
Kristine.
to
We're
see
so
you.
glad you're here.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yeah, of
Thank you for
course.
coming.
And
How many appearances does it take to be a friend of the show? Except for I do feel like now that we're like video,
Mhm.
This is like
It's a whole different
So
thing.
it's like
whole
Saturday
different-
Night Live. You get the robe after 5 visits.
No,
Yeah.
not the
Okay, yeah, you're on like 3. You're a definite like forerunner for
I
friend
know,
of the
but
show.
I'm
I
like,
think
do
you're a
I
friend of
get
the
like
show.
can we submit this to like IMDb? Do I get a SAG card or something?
I love
Yes.
it. I love it.
Yes, absolutely. And our topic, we're going to be doing this a little bit different today, and I'm kind of excited. So our sort of overlying theme, all 3 of us love our pets
Mhm.
deeply. So we're going to talk
Yep.
about what dogs can teach us about Squarespace web design in
Yes.
2025. And we're just going to go over a number
Yeah.
of themes that dogs give us and how it relates to our web design process and sort of philosophy.
So today is going to be fun, but we're going to have some takeaways for you for sure.
Yes.
So stick around. And before we jump into what dogs can teach us about Squarespace web design, Kristine, we were talking about Square Kicker. Tell us a little bit about your templates before we dive into our topic.
So I've been toying with the idea of putting out Squarespace templates for like ever. As
Mhm.
you know, Christy, I've talked to you about
Yeah.
this before. Like,
Yep.
it's an idea, but it just seems like really that's gonna be a lot of work.
Yeah.
Right.
And I finally kind of had some free headspace and had some good ideas. And so I kind of like reached back out to Square Kicker and I was like, are you still accepting designers? Could I do this?
Yeah.
And they were like, yes. And you guys, it's so easy. And it's just so lovely to be able to like create something and
Yeah.
they have such an amazing team to be able to then like pick
Mhm.
it up from there. So I have a 1-pager that's out now. It's called Bright Side Day. It's cheerful, but it's meant for like nonprofits or like local community organizations. Anybody who's doing some kind of just like an event, they need to just get the info out there.
Perfect.
Simple, fast, clean, I think. And then I have another template that's launching, I think in the next week or so, called Field Note, and that one's going to be really great for any kind of like educational, like maybe a small homeschooling co-op or
Perfect.
school tutoring or things like that. So
really
just
nice.
kind of a shift, I think. I was really looking forward to making some sites that were not strictly e-commerce. It's been so fun to kind of tap that little part of my brain. Thank you for asking. But yes,
I'm excited to see them.
This is the second endorsement of Square Kicker.
They're just the best. They add
There
so
can't
much
be
to our
enough.
ecosystem. I know there can't be enough.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see those. I'm gonna have to check those out. You recently redesigned your website too. I really love your aesthetic. It's very clean. It's very minimal. And if you can imagine, it is also epimonious. It is KristineNeal.com. If anyone is listening, all 3 of us.
Look at Will throw it out.
Oh yeah,
like low frequency words.
Oh,
Like,
stop
I'm
it.
like, I gotta Google. I don't even know how to spell that word.
Yeah, it's one of those words I just like logged away one time. I'm like, ooh, that person sounded smart
Yes.
saying it. I should do
No,
the
it
same.
Yeah.
It sounded like
How often can we work this into conversation? Glad
Right.
you can do it today.
I had nothing else to say about that. I just wanted to use that word. Yeah. But all 3 of us have websites that are our own name. But you should check out Kristine's. She just redid hers, KristineNeal.com, and it looks really nice.
Minimal with a little color. It's fun.
small
It's
punch.
it's a happy site.
I was feeling like, when you're bored with your own brand a little, I was like, I almost veered into like, it was so clean and minimal. It was boring. And I feel like I was like, I need something to energize myself. I don't even, at this point, I don't care how other people feel, but I'm so glad that you guys like it. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Looks
Love
very
it.
good. Okay, so let's jump into our traits of dogs. Things dogs can teach us about Squarespace web design. The first one here is loyalty matters. Our dogs are so loyal to us, and we love them for that. No matter what, been a rough day, maybe we were a little mean to them. They come back and they love us no matter what. Loyalty, what does that mean to us or to y'all in your design process, like to your clients, to our platforms, the tools that we use, or just to yourself and your own boundaries around clients?
I mean, I think that, go ahead. I was just gonna say, I think that the loyalty to yourself is first and foremost. We should
Yes.
do that.
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
I totally agree. And I feel like, your boundaries are really what keep you happy and going and not burning out. So, yes, loyalty to yourself first. And then I think part of loyalty to your clients is just showing up for them. So, if they reach
Mm.
out and you don't know the answer to something, just tell them, like, I don't know. I'll try and find somebody who does know. There's nothing worse than a client waiting. And I've had this experience on the other end, being a client for other things, where I email a question and I'm like, just tell me if you don't know, and then I can move on to someone else.
Mhm.
So I think that's part of it too, is just showing up.
Yeah. So that's, I think maybe we could all probably agree with that, but that's sort of your priority stack here.
Mhm.
Loyalty
Mhm.
first to yourself,
Yep.
your own boundaries, what you're trying to get out of it. Next,
Mhm.
loyalty to your clients.
Mhm.
That's how you treat them. And then third, platform, I guess. Is that kind of the last one? Is that what you would say, Kristine?
Yeah, I mean, I would also say that loyalty to clients is telling the truth, like telling,
Mhm.
like honest with them.
Mhm.
And because I do think that
Mm.
although we all work on Squarespace among other like tools in our stack, right? Like loyalty first and foremost to me always has to be to like what serves the client the best, like what is the
Mm.
best tool to solve this problem,
Yeah.
And I think that's why Circle Pros especially are such a trusted part of the ecosystem, is that
Mhm.
people know they can go and get kind of like the straight answer. If you go, and this is not Squarespace specific by any means, if you go to any platform and you go to their sales page, their job is to get you to sign up, right? They're only going to
Right.
features and the good things.
Yeah.
And working with somebody who's independent of any
All of that.
platform, I think is so important, because that can be your okay, but is this really? you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And even if you are an expert in just one platform and you get an inquiry, it's really easy to say, look, this is what I do, but it's not for you. You need this other solution that I
Yes.
don't provide. Let me give you some names, or, go on Marketplace and
Right.
find somebody who can do it. But yeah, I think that's really so important, is just being honest with your clients about what you can deliver and what the platform can deliver.
Yeah.
What's going to work, what's
Yeah.
going to not. Who's y'all's, not who, but like how long has your longest running client been? Speaking of loyalty.
Do math.
Is it?
A long time. I have a lot of my clients. I mean, I would say the vast majority of my clients at this point are repeat people.
Yeah.
So we've worked on
Mm.
many iterations of their site, or maybe
Yeah.
different businesses as they've closed and tried new ventures or whatever. That's what's really rewarding. I think if you can kind of stay the course,
Yeah.
you can really kind of see how people grow and change over time. So
Yeah.
Mm.
I love
Well-
that. And that speaks to your expertise too. You just keep people coming back for more, Kristine.
You really do.
just can't quit me.
And then changing gears a little bit, the next thing we were talking about, what dogs can teach us about Squarespace web design, is clear commands win. Good sites guide users with purpose. So you don't just tell people sit, stay, scroll. You tell them where to go, what to do, and why it matters. So Kristine, what does this mean to you in terms of site usability and how you're creating that for people to guide them through a journey?
So, okay, can we talk a little bit about dogs though for a minute?
Please.
Yeah,
Please.
always.
Okay.
Always.
So, you both know that my puppy Frank he's a now almost 1.5-year-old French bulldog. If anybody in the chat now or in the future would like a picture, just DM me. I will send you
Frank
dog
has the
You have a
most
couple?
impressive ears
Right.
I've ever seen.
You're right. But so, and French bulldogs are known to be pretty stubborn, but we have gone through like puppy school and whatnot. And one of the things that puppy teacher, said was like, you can't stack the commands. Like you can't ask Frank, like, okay, sit, bring me toy, sit. Like you've got to be like, bring me toy or sit. Like he doesn't understand like,
Yeah.
no, sit, I know. Like come, I know, but like come and sit is like too complex of an ask, especially if a really young pup, right?
Mhm.
So that's where I kind of go. And I'm like, okay, how do
Mhm.
we, like, what's the translation here? Is that like, if we treat our own selves like the overworked little, animals we are, right? Because our little brains are going so fast and we're taking in so much information online.
Mhm.
It is really hard. We all are way worse multitaskers than I think we are, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And we sometimes just need like a big giant button with like arrows. That's like, click,
Here,
button,
click
this button,
this.
this button.
Mhm.
And like, it's even, I think when it comes to messaging, like if it's unclear, I'm like, what action am I supposed to be taking on this page? Like,
Yeah.
are you selling me something? Am I signing up? Do I need to click
Yeah.
more? Like
This-
like,
I think that's something that if your clients are doing the copywriting, sometimes they really want to be clever about menu titles and navigation, page titles, and you're just like, no. And like, thankfully, I point them to Donald Miller now, his story brand, whose tenant is being
Yeah.
clear, not clever. And I'm like, look, this man has a book. Listen to him.
he's got a whole book. He's got a whole thing.
Yeah.
I always say that like it's okay to be boring. Like a lot of times people
Mhm.
are like, yeah, well, what if we did like this really cool scrolling thing and there's this, and I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, some people are just gonna want to find the button right at the top of the page.
Yeah.
And like simple and boring sometimes converts the best.
Yes.
And we just sometimes need to get out of the way. Like, don't let design be the thing that blocks it just because you're like, oh, it's so cool. I made the button scroll through. And you're like, no.
Yeah.
Don't make me chase the
100%.
button. I just want to click it.
Yeah. Like,
No, that's such good advice. I think all
Yeah.
of us remember that when we were first building websites, like wanting to shove everything onto a page and just get all the different things, make sure the user just didn't forget about all the things that we have to offer. And it really you got to slow it down.
yeah,
Make
it doesn't
pop
work. It
is
never
like
works.
the antithesis
Yes.
of good design.
Yes.
Make it pop.
Make it
No,
pop.
no.
That's
Make
me.
it.
If everything is important, nothing is, which is, I feel like I
Right.
say this like on every client call where I'm like, yeah, we're going to have to pick one of these things.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then we could pick another and make a whole page just for it. And I think
Right.
that's actually respectful to the content, because
Mhm.
it's like, that's an important ask. Let's give
Mhm.
it the real estate to stand on its own and not have to have them all like on one page fighting each other, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think that's some of the best advice. I love that our little dogs just taught us that. You got
Aw.
to remember, little Frankie, he just takes one command at a time.
And sometimes
Same with us with
not even
websites.
those.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love it. Okay, well, I'm gonna move us on to our third one.
Mhm.
We are an old dog family. Me,
Mhm.
Ren, and I. We love our little old dogs.
Vivi.
We right now have a 15-year-old little Maltese, super sweet.
No
But here's the thing:
No teeth.
no teeth. No one accuses an old dog of being pretty. A lot of them,
Yeah.
not the cutest,
Mhm.
but it's not about the beauty of it. It's about how they make us feel, how it functions. And I think a lot of web designers should focus more on the how it makes you feel and how your website functions rather than the beauty of it. I think there's more
Yeah.
energy can be put into that.
I think we hear a lot about form over function when it comes to design. And I mean, I think each of us is the opposite. It's like, no, it needs to work. It
Yeah.
really needs to work.
Mhm.
Yeah.
People
Yeah, what-
will remember if it's like,
Mhm.
that was clunky or
Yeah.
buggy or whatever.
Correct. As long as it's there. I always come back to Amazon, their website, because it is not a good looking website.
Yeah.
But no one can argue that it doesn't convert. No one can argue
Right.
that it doesn't work.
Right.
It like works for people. People come wanting to buy something and they have focused on that, not making it really easy for someone to buy, not making it super pretty, not over indexing on things they shouldn't be. It's just how do we make it fast and how do we make it convert?
Yes.
I recently had the experience of checking out this really simple email signature generator. And I'm like, oh, this is so cool. Cause like people want me to create email signatures for them. That is my worst nightmare. And now I can just be like, go here. Except that the site, which was lovely and minimal and wonderful, had a custom cursor. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm clicking on. It's like this big round thing. And I'm just like, oh, it was like I don't
So
even want to go
close.
there now. It was so close. I really want to send people there, but also I don't want to encourage anyone to have a custom cursor ever.
No.
It's like one of my pet peeves. But
Yeah.
that experience, I'm just like, oh, if we had just kept it simple, if we had
Mhm.
just kept it simple, I would be sending so many people here.
And I think that goes to show that if people want to buy from you,
Mhm.
even like if it's horrible, right?
Mhm.
You have really true brand fans. Like
Yes.
it's an email signature generator. It's whatever, this like fancy soap, whatever it is you're
Yeah.
selling, even if it's a service. Honestly, most people could probably make like a Stripe checkout page because it's about, they're like, I don't care. You've already done the work of selling to me. I've followed you on social or I've whatever, like I'm connected to your brand. Like I'm dialed in, like let me like give you money, you know?
Yeah.
It could be
Yeah.
it just needs to be a checkout form, you know?
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. And I would love to get your opinion on this, Kristine, because you're much more the expert in the e-commerce arena. But in my sort of web development, website building world, I've found that it's real. Like if you're not getting sales, it's not because you haven't like optimized your website. It's because you haven't gone out and done sort of some marketing that you should be doing. You haven't made people excited about what you're doing. It's not these like little optimizations that get people to purchase from your website. It's
100%.
more.
Yes. Like I think people is kind of like they assume it's going to be a Field of Dreams situation. Like,
Right.
And like there's nothing magic about like sometimes people are like, okay, your site has gone live, and it's like they just sit there and like they're like refresh.
Like just
And,
waiting
like,
for the
waiting
sales.
Where are
meeting
the
to roll in.
sales?
And
Yeah.
it's like, okay, but what have you done off the website? The website is ultimately just like this one little piece of the puzzle. And all of the work you've done before, during, after, it can be, you know, have you, like connected on social, but like afterwards, like do you have really great packaging? Do you have a really great like follow-up nurture email sequence? Like, do you make people feel connected to like the story? Like these are all things that ultimately we measure a website success by like its conversion rate, but you're so right that like it's just like one part of this really big ecosystem. And it's hard, I think, because we can measure stuff like that on a website, and I think people like to measure stuff, you know?
Yeah, measuring's fun.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like it,
but like I think you just said, it's like this very large funnel, and we're only measuring like one little bit at the end. We're not measuring like the entire thing. I think that's a good thing. You said we haven't talked about this. You haven't painted the whole story. You haven't painted the whole story of what your business is, how it would solve a customer's problem. And I'm reminded of what Hoyd said on our episode 2 weeks ago, where when he's building a website, Hoyd, just the best. He just starts with it's just text. He doesn't add any fluff, no images, no graphics, nothing. He just starts with a blank page and just writes text to create the story that he's doing, and then fills it out from there. I love that. I love that as a method.
I mean, anything Hoyd says, I'm on board.
Yeah, I'm in.
We're all in. Yeah.
Right.
So smart. This is just so like it's just so smart, right?
Yeah.
We need to all just bookmark that.
We really should. I know.
I can't wait till one of us does a website that's just like, here's the text. It is done.
Oh, the year was 2002.
Right. My 2002 just had one little graphic and my
one little spinning wheel at the bottom. A dolphin. No, it wasn't. I'm just making that up.
So I want us to move on to the next thing that we talked about. So with dogs, we kind of think about their senses and how much stronger their sense of smell is over their sense of sight. And so we were comparing that to the website, and it's just about the vibe, right? So people may not remember exactly what it says or exactly what it looks like, but they'll remember how it felt. So it's like this sense of, yes, that was a good experience. I liked that. I want to go back and buy more soap. Or there's a custom cursor. I'm never coming back here.
It was a little hard to click. Yeah, I
Uh-huh.
struggled to understand what I was hovering over, and that kind
Yeah.
of made me feel dumb. So I don't
like,
want to go back.
How,
Yeah.
how is
Yeah.
this related? These last few points have all kind of melded together into like, I think a mega point about like, it's ultimately about connecting, right?
Yeah.
Like it's ultimately, but I think that, okay, so, those, like really sappy, I hope they're not staged. I hope they're real. Those videos online where it's like the soldier has returned from like 7 years of war.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And the dog.
They get out of the car and the dog's just sitting
Yes.
there kind of like, and then
Yeah.
he approaches really slowly, and then he's like, "Human, it's you!" And they
Just
just
goes
go
nuts.
crazy. Like,
Yes.
okay, I love those videos. Like I said, I hope they're real. Please, no one
I
staged.
think they're real. I think they're real.
Like I think that's like the ultimate like reminder of this to me, where it's like
Mhm.
you just want people but you have to like work to make that connection, right? So like you want people to just kind of be like, okay, I kind of didn't recognize this at first, but I remember really liking it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Totally. And I do feel like that's going with oftentimes like a less is more approach. Just figure out like the big pieces. And again, you're like we were saying, it's all kind of melding into one sort of idea here. But what are the big points you want someone to take away? And if you put too much on a page, it's going to confuse people. Like you're not going to be able to understand what is the main thing someone wants to take away. What is that one feeling you want someone to leave with? I think that's, I do not think those videos are fake, and a lot of my worldview I think would crumble if I realized they were.
Oh, good. I know. I mean, I try not to be too cynical, but I mean, people make like.
I know now, especially with the AI videos, it's going to be almost impossible to tell the fake ones.
It's not even a real dog.
It's like you're out there making fake sappy videos. Like jail immediately.
Straight to jail.
I know, especially when they involve dogs. Like, just they're precious beings. Please leave them out of it.
That's the line. That's the line.
Look,
we found it. Yeah,
we have crossed a line with me.
Although, in all fairness, I did this presentation once where I made a little website that Bayla was teaching dogs how to get along better with their humans, and I had AI photos of her vacuuming, and that was a lot of fun.
I feel like you're gonna have to find this site and then share it.
Oh, I will.
Because I feel like that's a very important example that we all are going to need to see.
I did one of my plugins. It's the nested folders, so you can have like you can nest folders in Squarespace. My demo website is all Vivi traveling the world. The demo website is like a dog world traveling blogger.
See, I love this. Are we allowed to have like a little meta moment on
please?
Yes.
Okay, can we tell everyone how we got here with the dog conversation? Can I tell this story?
Yes, please. Go ahead.
I don't know which one of you. It may have been Will who said, "Hey, you want to come back to me on the podcast? We just talk about, like work, Squarespace life, dogs, whatever." And I kind of feel like you were like maybe joking about the dog thing, and that like it might have been hypothetical, and I took it as real. This is like a very Jerry Maguire quote part where it's like, it might have just been a hypothetical. And I was like, nope, we have dogs.
Nope, done. Dogs? You said dogs. You said it. I see it. You put it in writing.
I say it, you have to do it. So I was like, no, this actually is really smart, because a lot of what we do, like, we don't want to seem too self-important here, right? Like, we're making websites. We're not
correct. Listen,
unless your website's about curing cancer, I guess. But like ultimately, like if you've got to have a little fun in your day, right?
Yes.
And so it was like, okay, how do we take these like little beings that do like, look, you guys have both made websites as part of your like, this is my work, but it's like, how do I have a little fun here? Like, how does Vivi show up in this plugin tutorial? Like, how do I make a website with my dog vacuuming? Like,
right. And it's 100% agree with you. And that's honestly the reason why when in that initial message, I was like, dogs, whatever. That's, I think, a big part of the ethos of Somewhat Useful. It's just, we're all just kind of in this making stuff up together. Dogs are a big important part of our lives. There's a lot of other important parts of your life that are outside of websites outside of
Mhm.
building a business, and it should be. And
Yeah.
that's I'm with you. Like let's not take ourselves too seriously.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Just
Yeah.
it gets real hard some days, and if you like try to make it too
Mhm.
serious,
Mhm.
like it's
Yeah.
just gonna be harder. So yeah, I love that like you both were like, okay, and here's how I've used dogs as like examples in my work. Because now
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm gonna definitely, maybe I'll make a dog template for Square Kicker.
Yeah.
I think you should.
Yeah.
Like this is
Trademark,
how you
TM.
remember things. Right.
Yes. Mhm.
No, I'm gonna remember Frankie needing to do one
Whoa.
command at a time. Like that's
Yeah.
a beautiful analogy
Yeah.
for a website. Yeah, okay.
And
Dogs
I'm
do one
thinking,
command at a time.
I'm thinking too, this comes back to connection. And it's like we are all connected because we love our dogs so much.
Mhm.
And it's funny because like when you meet somebody new and you're like, okay, what do you do from work for work? They don't understand what I do. I don't understand what they do. Do you have kids? I have a kid. You don't have kids. Do you have a dog? And then it's like, yes, we are now best friends. Let me show you
Done.
pictures of my
Everyone's
dog.
like,
I'll
"Come
show
on, I
you.
gotta get my phone. I'm gonna show you a
Yes.
picture.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So how do you talk to your dog? Is it more like this? Is it like this type of voice? Or is it more like this type of voice? Yeah, we all
Who's your
have
good
those.
girl?
Yeah.
Who's
we
your
all
good
have-
girl?
we all have
Yes.
those voices.
Next time we'll just do a podcast entirely in our dog voices.
Yes. Actually, we
think-
should invite our dogs to the video cast and people can see what our lives are truly
There
like.
we go.
Because I'll have a giant 75-pound
It
brown
might be difficult
heated
for
weighted
you.
blanket on top of me at all
Mhm.
times.
I'm sure that's lovely in the Texas heat.
Mhm.
Summer.
Yes. Yes. I don't mind.
All right, so we'll move on to our fifth lesson dogs have taught us, which is to find your sunny spot or to find that little divot in the couch. You know, dogs, they find their spots and it's their
Mhm.
spot. They're good with it. They don't need to
Mhm.
change it. They don't need to mess anything up. This is where I get the sun's warmth. This is the best part of the couch pillow. This is where I'm going to be. And
Mhm.
likewise, I think it's fun. I think a lot of us got into the Squarespace world because it's fun to just like build new things and experiment and try stuff. But it's always good to know where your sweet spot is with
Yeah.
yourself and your business and your customers. Christy, do you have any
Yeah.
follow-up thoughts?
I mean, I think too, it's like sweet spot can mean so many things. So initially when I was thinking about this, I was thinking about when I design websites. So most of my designs are very minimal, modern, and then I try to just add one little bit of custom code to make it a little different than a standard Squarespace website. So, on my website, I have this rotating, floating button that you gave me code
Yeah.
for. So, it's just something that's a little unexpected, maybe, but my wheelhouse, like where I feel like I do my best work, are these minimal designs. But I also feel like there's so much true in our lives too, in terms of, excitement and experimentation, that we can find our sunny spot and then just like, how about this next little spot on the couch? Is that as comfy? Yes. This is better. Let me move
Try
over
that.
here. Or nope, I like my little divot better. I'll stay here. So, there is like room for experimentation there.
Yeah. You don't have to stay in one spot.
Yes. Yeah.
But if you find your lane.
That's a good. What's your sunny spot, Christine?
I think of this more in terms of like my work-life balance, kind of.
Yeah.
I'm like the anti-hustler. Like I'm out there actively trying to, work less or work smarter, I guess is probably the better way to say it. So I think of it more as like if it's a sunny afternoon, I'm leashing Frank up and we're going for a walk. And like the work will happen before or after. And it's kind of like the sunny afternoons might be like rare or, maybe tomorrow will be raining and I'll have missed this opportunity. Right. So that's how I kind of think of it. I'm like, okay, when it comes down to it, like what's most important, like where are the priorities? Because like I love all my clients. I will work so hard for them, but I also do my best work if I have taken care of myself.
Yeah.
I've really like taken advantage of the fact that like, because there's just nothing better like when you look over and there's like a big sunbeam in the room. And I do also have a cat named Coco. And so just shout out to all the cat people also.
Yeah.
Yes.
But like when it's like the sunny spot moves and like she moves with it,
Yeah.
right? And so when you just
Mm.
look over there and it's like she's just like just basking in it, you know,
Mhm.
and she'll just move with the little sunny spot, and you're like, man, that's just enjoying life, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Like I've
Yeah, it
got
is.
not a care in the world except for to chase this sunny spot, you know, like that is my goal today. Stay in this sunny spot.
Stay in the sunny spot. I love that. I think that's a really good visual.
This
Just
is
stay in
getting
the
very
sunny
like
spot.
philosophical, like Tao of Pooh.
I know.
It
but it's
is one of my favorite books.
Oh. Yeah. Who
A
knew?
Taoist at heart. Yeah.
Will, do you have anything like that? How's Vivi do in the
Vivi's
heat with her age?
she does not like the heat. She's like her dad. She does not like the heat. Not a fan of no air conditioning.
Yeah.
But she has her spots. She's got about four dog beds around the house. So she does well. But I've also found like my sunny spot when I'm thinking about like, oh, what would be my sunny spot? It's more about like the time of day that I work. I'm very much like a night owl, and I can really get into the flow at night. And I've tried doing other things like let's wake up early and go on a run. Yeah, gross, I know. And there's times and places for those. But I've consistently throughout my life found my sunny spot to be like, okay, after like 9 p.m., I can get some real work done.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what it is, if I'm just like allowing myself to not think about the distractions or there's just less coming in, but I can really get in the flow. And that's always kind of been my sunny spot.
I love that. See, we've all kind of interpreted it a little differently, but it's kind of like this all full circle. It's like it is about staying true to like yourself. Like how do I work best? How do I take care of people best? How do I take care of myself best? Like all these things I think are all ultimately like so connected, and they are so zen, right? Because
very zen.
Yes.
Because I think ultimately like
very zen.
We're like, okay, what did the dogs teach us? And it's just like they're not worried about like I've got to watch the news today, or you know,
or
like my belly is full, my people that I love are all around me. Like life is good.
We're good.
Yeah,
that's it. That's it.
I aspire to be my dog.
Just present in the moment. Yeah.
I think I might aspire to be Kristine's dog too. That sounds like it'd be a good life.
It would be.
Very spoiled.
I would imagine.
I love it.
Christy,
you want to take us away with our last one here?
Yeah. So the last one we were talking about is like Zoomies. So I know Bela at the end of every day, like she gets the Zoomie. She has to get her energy out before we go to bed. So she knows it's time. She'll just like zoom. But what she doesn't do that a lot of dogs do is she doesn't chase her tail, which I think is the cutest thing ever.
It is pretty cute.
You know, in thinking about that, it's like, yeah, so we can do Zoomies in our business. It's like, I'm going to work really hard on this until it's done. You know, this one project, like super focused, but don't chase your own tail. So it's like, maybe that we can interpret that as don't, you know, try out every new platform that comes out with AI. I was talking to productivity expert Stacey Harmon last week, and one of her first tenets to productivity is pick and stick. Pick your platform and stick with it, because that's how you're going to get the most done.
Yeah. I feel that.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
Yeah. There's a lot changing in the web building world.
Yes.
Especially with all this AI. I think probably with every industry, but it feels like especially with this one, because our whole lives are online. And it is just exhausting keeping up with all the different tools. I hardly have enough time to watch all the different keynotes from like Canva and Squarespace and Shopify and all the different ones and all the different features. It's just insane to keep up with it all. And I think I've just kind of got this mindset where I don't think if I can't keep up with it, my customers definitely can't keep up with it.
No.
And so I'm just trying to like sort of allow myself to just like pass on some of these like immediate, this is the new way to change your productivity. Just like give it some time, because us humans aren't going to be able to keep up with all this. So it's all right to sort of let some things slide by.
Yeah. And I think a lot of us who work in tech, especially, like we tend to be the early adopters to things, right?
Yes.
We're the ones who are like, you know, there's a new iPhone, you know, like there's this new feature release.
Background removal tool.
Right, exactly. It's like we want to be first to try it. And I think that's fun. I love playing with things. I'm kind of a like software junkie. I'll try them all just because like I kind of want to know what it looks like under the hood and stuff. But I agree, Will, that like there's a time where you just have to be like, you know what? I don't have to take it all on. And like I don't have to be first. I think there's also this like compulsion to like I'm going to call Squarespace out a little, but like they push something and then it's like, quick, let's all make content about it and talk about it because we want to be the first one. I want to have the first blog post about that. I want to have a YouTube video about it. I want to have the first LinkedIn post. I want to have this. And I feel like that type of creator culture doesn't do us or them any favors. Right. I do like a like more like methodical phased release schedule that allows people to really like work in a like calmer way. So like right now feels especially chaotic to me. Like especially like with all of the e-commerce changes though, I've really had to say people know me historically for e-commerce. Yeah. I can't be the one mouthpiece on this. Otherwise, that like every single day would be like, okay, got to make that new content, got to be first. It's okay. I don't care if I'm not first anymore. Like, like I love that. I'm not going to chase my tail. I'm not going to zoom around, exhausting myself just to say like I was there first.
And I think too, like that's probably the underlying reason that most of us like we don't build websites and everything, right? We've picked one tool or maybe two that we've gone deep on. We understand how it works. We can bring a lot of value. I cannot imagine trying to keep up with Squarespace and Shopify and Framer and Webflow, and WordPress. Like there's so much. We're at this point, Will, to your earlier point, we're at this place where everything is changing so quickly across the board. It's like we're drinking from a fire hose all day long. And it's not fun like it used to be like, oh, I'm going to try out this new tool for me anyway. I think I really am in this. Nope. Squarespace. I'm going to try and keep up with that. And that's all I've got.
Yep. Couldn't agree more. Right. Squarespace and ChatGPT. I'll give ChatGPT. Like I can't live without it at this point.
I'm just going to be watching YouTube videos of dogs drinking from fire hoses.
There we go. And coming back to their military parents.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing all day. I might make a few websites in between, but
about dogs.
Well, mostly about dogs. But yes, just military reunions and dogs drinking from fire hoses.
Love it.
I love
Maybe
it.
some zoomies too, because they are cute.
They are.
I love it.
Cute.
Especially French bulldog zoomies, guys. They're crazy.
Please send videos. Please send videos. Yes.
Yes, I will.
Well, this has been a wonderful little conversation. Thank you for the idea and the inspiration for this one, Kristine. I hope other people found it.
And I ran with it.
Yeah. Well, thank you. That I appreciate you doing that. Hope people found it grounding a bit.
Yeah, we're gonna hop back and ask you some lightning round questions in just a minute. But before that, Will, you're gonna do our second sponsor break.
All right. What if you could have unlimited creativity on Squarespace? The Square Kicker Pro extension gives you powerful design control with an intuitive visual UI right inside the Squarespace editor. Created by designers for designers, over 100 no-code tools empower you to customize Squarespace far beyond its native capabilities. Visit squarekicker.com for a free trial. No credit card required. Use the coupon code SOMEWHAT15 to get 15% off all Square Kicker products today. Supercharge your creativity with dramatic scroll effects, custom hover states, unique section layouts, and so much more. With dedicated 5-star support, you'll never face a design challenge alone. The Square Kicker team can't wait to see what you create.
And we can't either. If
We
you've
can't
done a
either.
website with Square Kicker,
Nor
drop a
can
link in
we.
the comments. We would love to see it.
That's right.
And
Our-
even if they're not like the fanciest, I think that like
Yeah.
Square Kicker, like, can I add on to the Square Kicker?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Please.
How fat, like I just makes building some things so much faster for me.
Mhm.
My favorite thing is presets.
Yes.
Oh, I did this
Mhm.
one thing on one image. Turns out I don't have to do that on every single image on my site. I can just like click, click, click. Just makes me feel like so efficient.
Yes.
There's so many little like nooks and crannies of that tool. It's really cool.
I know.
It is
So,
really cool.
yeah.
Okay, lightning round questions. You ready, Kristine?
Kristine, I feel like we've covered this one, but it is
I know.
always our first lightning round question. Do you
No.
have any pets and do they come to work with you?
Oh, yes, I would love to talk about my pet. Oh, so funny you asked. So yes, I mentioned we're talking dogs mostly, but I do have a cat named Coco. Coco's almost 12, so she's kind of old girl. She's a little sassy. She's not the best big sister to dear little Frank, who is the 1.5-year-old French bulldog. As we mentioned, please DM me for pictures of the dog only.
Sweet Frankie and Coco. Okay, what are the top 3 tools in your tech stack?
Okay, well, Square Kicker is kind
Of course.
and I will say I was a little like I was kind of slow. I was a slow adopter on Square Kicker because I kind of had to like realize its potential, and now I'm like I can't not use it on a project.
Yeah.
If only because it's just like that. Okay, so every project has Square Kicker, and then shout out, I'm using the toolkit, your Chrome extension.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Was it SQS? Is that what we're calling it? SQS?
Yeah,
toolkit?
SQS toolkit. Yeah, I'm not good at like the branding and clear messaging.
No, it's
I just call it Will's toolkit.
Will's
It's so
toolkit.
handy.
I'll say maybe that's what I should call
You
it.
just
Yeah.
call it Will's toolkit. Such a time saver, so genius. I
Thank you.
like love being able to like stay in the flow, like we were saying, like that it like just happens in my like on top of my window, and I don't have to like click out. And I can save all sorts of little snippets in there, and it's just like, oh my god, this is
Thank
so
you.
smart.
Yeah.
And then,
I love the code library too. It's so
yes.
cool.
I know.
Yeah.
Y'all are-
And it's all right there. Oh
Y'all are very kind. Thank you.
no, it's seriously integral. And then another one that I've really been loving lately is workflow.design. Have you guys
Yes.
played with that? Yes.
Yes.
Workflow.design.
Yes. I have a video on how to use it. I'll drop a link
Perfect.
below.
Yes.
Please do.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
another one that like I kind of beta tested early on, and then I kind of let it lie for a little bit, and then I've revisited lately. But I've been loving that it really kind of is like the best of maybe like markup, but like not having to share the full link to a site with a
Yes.
client. They're just really client friendly way for them to provide feedback and like little comments across the site. And like it's like simple enough.
It's so pretty. It's like
Right,
minimal
right.
and usable. There are no
Yes.
custom cursors.
No custom cursors.
Like, yeah, it's got like enough features that it feels helpful, but like not too many that doesn't feel bloated. So anyways, those
Yeah.
are my three.
That's a
Big
great
fan.
one.
Big fan of all those things.
Oh,
I'm gonna have to watch your YouTube video, Christy, because I haven't even heard of it yet. That seems cool.
It's really
yeah.
cool. Yeah. When MarkFlow raised their prices, I'm like, what else is there? And there was another tool that I'd used before. I went back to that briefly, and then I found workflow.design, and I was like,
Loved
oh,
it.
this is where I live now.
Yep.
it's really lovely.
Love it.
And plays very nicely with Squarespace. So
Yeah. So Kristine, where can people find you? You're on LinkedIn and YouTube as Kristine Neal.
that's it.
Okay. And
That's it. My
KristineNeal.com.
What's the word, Will? Teach it to us again.
Epimonious.
Epimonious.
I sure
Epimonious.
hope I could easily, that could be a totally different one. It makes you look
We
real dumb.
believe you.
But
just act
just-
confident.
yeah.
You've got
It's-
this. Yeah.
So
It's epimonious.
there you go. That's good. I like that rasp. Yes, so that's it. Like not
Christine Neal everywhere.
Visit Kristine and
Mhm.
that's it for today's episode. Thank you all so much for listening, and we hope you found this at least somewhat useful.
Be sure to subscribe to our podcast. And if you really like us, leave us a nice 5-star review, as this really helps us grow the pod. Thanks again to our sponsor, Squarekicker. And thanks to our audio engineer, Ricky Gunton. We'll see you next time.
Bye. Thanks, Kristine.
Bye.
Thanks, Kristine.